I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Florida State offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn is retiring as the Florida State Seminoles OC. Malzahn, at age 60, is stepping away after his one season calling plays for the Noles. Malzahn coached for 35 years, most notably running the show at Auburn from 2013 to 2020, where he was the offensive coordinator for their 2010 national title. It's 51 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Aram Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Gus, you don't need to discuss much. You never did. Just drop off the key and get yourself free. I said jump off the bus, Gus. Gus all over the place, playing for former head coaches. Does it work? It did not for Malzahn and Norvell. Of course, Norvell learned a lot under Gus Malzahn. At least that's what he told us. And then on the flip side, you have Gus Bradley, who at one point was the head coach here under Robert Saleh, when Saleh never said much. Man, I don't think I heard him say two words the time he was here as the linebackers coach. But if you have not heard, Gus Bradley back in the AFC. He will be the defensive coordinator for the Titans. And Brian Daboll as well, Robert Saleh, assembling a good staff. Most would say you could perhaps argue that, and that is fine. We'll give you the ways that you can join the program coming up here momentarily. But this is a blow to Florida State, kind of. And it really depends on how you look at it, okay? I mean, it's already totally broken. So it's not like, well, another year with Gus Malzahn was really going to be able to get the thing to turn 180. There's no way. I mean, this thing has been just ripped apart, and it was so obvious by their approach, okay? For those who forget, after a 2-10 season in God's country, the ability of Gus Malzahn to come aboard and run plays, call plays for Florida State was thought of perhaps as being something really good for FSU. And then certainly you look at what happened on opening day. They knocked off Alabama. The feeling was initially, this bad boy is really going to work. But then we saw kinks in the armor. I mean, it was just ridiculous to witness what actually did occur. And, I think the combination of arrogance and ignorance really came into play here for Mike Norvell. Norvell was apparently relinquishing the offense to Gus. Well, what did Gus do? For those who watch college football for a long period of time around here, you remember Gus Malzahn, perhaps most prominently at Auburn, as a guy who loved to settle on one back and run that back in his run-first approach. Okay, the guy went to a national title and came 13 seconds away from winning it with basically a defensive back playing quarterback for Gus Malzahn. That's the way he looked at QBs. Now, he got a little bit better as he moved on throughout his career, certainly at Central Florida, but we watched the entire game evolve. Anyway, the bread and butter for Gus Malzahn is a one-back guy who's going to carry the load for the football team. That's not Mike Norvell. All right. We saw the last 2 years. Remember that opening drive in Dublin against Georgia Tech? It was a long-winded drive. I think it was about a 12-play drive that went about 75 yards and maybe took 5+ minutes off the clock. But during that drive, he used 5 different running backs. They end up losing that game, some awful coaching decisions in that game. And the same thing happened against Alabama. But you win a ball game of that magnitude, the last thing anyone is going to do is criticize. But we witnessed it on a week-to-week-to-week basis. There was absolutely no continuity. There was no cohesion offensively for Florida State. And it really started with the fact he had no idea what to do at running back. He never seemed to go with the hot hand. It was a very spot-like situation that just exploded in Seminole fans' face. So there's a direct contrast in style. Gus wants one and, can get by with two. Norvell thinking that, this is the way of the future. He's going to use so many different guys and ended up coming back to really haunt them. So what does this do for Florida State now? The days of Mike Norvell, the heir apparent of Bobby Bowden in the role of a CEO is gone. He now will take back the play calling responsibilities. Again, for those who remember, and I do, the last time Mike Norvell called plays, Florida State was 2-10. The timing of Gus Malzahn leaving is brutal. There's no other way to say it. It is absolutely brutal. It is a complete, total lack of respect for the Florida State program. And I don't care which side you sit on here. The fact that there was, again, no leadership, no communication for this to come down today is nauseating. There were all sorts of rumors that Gus Malzahn was looking to become a head coach elsewhere, that Gus Malzahn wanted out of his contract, that Gus Malzahn was considering retirement. Yet he went through the entire transfer period, and when the season ended to when the season is just getting set now to begin as far as the work they'll do, mat drills or whatever the hell they call it over there now. I don't know. I think I think when things get most fierce is when Mike Norvell, lines up and sprints against the 85 guys on his football team. So Gus gets up and leaves, and the timing is brutal. He totally oversaw the addition of Ashton Daniels. Who? Ashton Daniels. He's going to be the quarterback, right? He's the hand-picked guy. He's played like Division I AA. I heard he's really good with a Nerf football if it's like 7-on-7 or whatever it may be. And that was supposed to be the way about it. A run first, Gus Malzahn offense. It's Ashton Daniels. He's going to take it upon himself. Ashton Daniels is going to pick up a first down for Florida State. He has also witnessed not only improvement, but because that's probably a false term, but the promotion of three of his coaches. Okay, and I'm not even talking about Herb Hand here, the offensive line coach. I'm talking about young coaches. Now, the offensive coordinator is a guy by the name of Tim Harris, okay, who I don't even think they allowed to have a headset on to listen to the plays that were being called. Again, Florida State's a bean counter. They've been trying to find ways to save money. I think one of those ways was headphone costs. Let's not allow the future offensive coordinator to even listen in to anything that is going on right now offensively. And Florida State was rumored to really be looking at some young offensive coordinators throughout the college football landscape. One of those was Cade Bell. All right, Cade Bell, I remember when JU had a team. He was a quarterback here. I had an opportunity to run into Cade Bell a couple of times. Of course, Noah's daddy, Kerwin, did some really good things, both as a player and as a coach. Well, look at what Cade Bell did last year with a true freshman quarterback in Mason Heinschel, and could Florida State have landed Cade Bell? Could it have been a combo package? It would have upset the ACC. Possibly we may even have heard from Jim Phillips on it. And who cares? I mean, it's Pitt. You're Florida State. You're the new addition of Florida State. You're the ugly, beaten up, you're spilling blood everywhere, you're leaking. There's nothing anyone can do about it, but you're still Florida State. You're going to come back. It's just going to take longer than I think any of us actually did envision. They missed that opportunity. Okay? That is not going to be the case now at FSU. So, where does that leave the Noles? I'll tell you exactly where it leaves them. Norvell is going to witness this entire thing crumble. He's got no chance of surviving. None. He's not a good coach. He's not a good collector of talent. He used the transfer portal well before other coaches, and I'll give him credit for that. He envisioned it, and he took chances on it, and it worked all the way up until the injury to Jordan Travis, which again, in my mind, I fault Mike Norvell for that, because Mike Norvell couldn't have those guys ready for North Alabama, whoever the hell they were. You were down 13-0, had to use your quarterback, okay, who's at that point was getting close to putting up Heisman Trophy type numbers and winning, 17 in a row before the injury, right? They would knock off Florida a week later, then Louisville 2 weeks later. If you were ready to play, you wouldn't have had to have used them. But Norvell didn't have them ready. Norvell never put anyone away. LSU a couple of years ago, Miami 2 years. He never put them away. When you step with the iron, the cast iron right out of the fire, and you step on the jaw and the neck, and it sinks in, and you get a little bit of the upper part of the chest, and everything goes at once. Norvell's never been able to do that. Norvell's going to play to the level of competition and allow teams to get back in the football game. Norvell now is, it almost feels, and I don't know this, but because he's been silent, and that's unlike him. He's usually a guy that, doesn't mind talking, is not necessarily transparent, but he at least stands up there and takes on the questions and does do a lot of interviews nationally, regionally, no matter what it may be. That's gotten away from him. He's no longer doing that. And he is, without any question, a scorned lover going through a divorce. And he's going to take the entire thing down until this thing comes to its final day. Many of you have been through a divorce before, whether you've seen it yourself or you've seen it with a buddy. You know how it gets very vicious in a lot of these cases, and you become so vindictive. The person you once to love, you now can't wait, to get out and get away. But I imagine there's a lot of really good guys out there that are like, take what you want. Take what you want. But it's still not enough. The other side is, oh no. It's personal now, and I'm going to hurt you in any way that I can. That's Norvell. He knows he's a lame duck. He is hurting this program, all right? A program that he inherited, and a program now that he has taken to the absolute worst that you can ever imagine. And here it is. We're getting ready for another year. You don't know anything about this guy outside of the fact that he is so sporadic as a coach. You don't know if he has a quarterback. You don't know what he has. And Florida State fans are just sitting back taking it. They're being told that moves can't be made because the leadership at that university, including the outgoing chair of the Board of Trustees and Drew Weatherford, a week to 10 days ago. Okay, Drew Weatherford was worse in the front office than he was as a QB at FSU. Their president, their athletic director, who just sucks. He is so bad. I mean, he can't do anything right. And everyone else involved. By the way, it was key boosters, allegedly, who didn't want Norvell to fire Malzahn because he was owed $4 million over the next 2 years. $2 million per. That's the main reason why he's no longer, or the reason why he stayed on until today, and that Florida State could not go out to pursue another coach. So it's a mess. It's going to be an ongoing mess. It's not going to get better anytime soon. You really have no choice here but to sit back and just take it. You know, I'd love to tell you to enjoy it while you're taking it, but I can't see that happening. You're just going to have to grin and bear it, you know? And here I am, one of those guys who enjoys every day and tells you that I can't wait for in the expression because I want you to enjoy tonight and Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, the Super Bowl is going to get here in 6 days, right? Enjoy the week. Look at it outside. It's beautiful. What is it, 80? Not a cloud in the sky. And sure enough, you Florida State fans, I don't know what to tell you. You need to invest in something, okay? If you don't do substance, good. Should you consider it? Nah. Alcohol? Yeah, hell yeah. A nice spirit can lift you up. However, just don't get behind the wheel when, in fact, you do that. But I got you, Florida State fans. I don't know what else to say, okay, except for 2-10 and 5-7 isn't nearly bad enough. Not winning 2 games, not winning a game on the road in 2 years is not nearly enough. The worst is still to come for this program until they're able to rebuild it. Hopefully he gets fired midway through the season. My guess will be, though, he'll somehow survive and get fired, you know, right after the loss to Florida in the very late stages of November, which is played on a Friday night this year. Again, 3 Friday night games for Florida State, a Monday night game and 2 byes. Hey, Florida State fans, maybe this is a good thing. You're going to go through 6 college football Saturdays without your team playing. Think about that. Not 1, not 2. 6 college football Saturdays. And you're not even on the map. That's what happens. That's what the ACC schedule makers do when your Florida State front office pops off and act ignorant the way that they did. And when you have a head coach who has put you in this situation as well. Everyone is against you at Florida State. You just don't hear them anymore because you're so irrelevant. It was at least cool when you were a part of it, when you were really making some noise, that maybe you brought some haters on then, but you were still a part of it. Now you're completely left behind. I hate it for the fans. Outside of it, I'll be the first to tell you right now, I absolutely want this thing to melt. I want this thing to completely burn down. I don't care if they win a game this year. Just fire Mike Norvell and start over. Okay, we got so much to do right here on this Monday night. Let's get to the NFL on the other side. Let's get to the Super Bowl. The Jaguars are in the news. I've been waiting for Roger Goodell all day to speak. He hasn't. I don't know what in the world is going on. At some point, he will come forward with his address. We'll recap it. Heck, we may not even be able to get to it until tomorrow. Shmunez Vision. Want to welcome them to the program right here on this Monday night. It's pretty simple. It's dark outside right now. If you need laser eye surgery or any surgery for that matter, you got to go where you can trust the doctors. 37 years plus of experience with Dr. Neo Shmunez, Catherine Shmunez, and John Hunt. All 3 doctors have been doing this, as I've said, for more than 37 years. The great thing about Shmunez Vision, those 3 provide the examination, will talk you through surgery, and perform it themselves. It's one of the many reasons that Shmunez Vision is as successful as they are. And they're always there to try to save you money, looking out for you and certainly value when it comes to your eyes. Check them out online, Shmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram, get the very latest as far as testimonials at Shmunez Vision.
I'm Mo Williams, former offensive lineman from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Pete Mitchell, and you're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, Whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
If you've been searching for answers to your quarterback questions, he's the lighthouse to guide you home.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Wrapped up by George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Best Bet is number one. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Zero Res Month of Love Sale. Hicken here. Not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, it's also the biggest air filter in your home. If your carpet hasn't been professionally cleaned, you're breathing unhealthy levels of nasty dirt, dander, bacteria, and germs that keep recirculating again and again. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the 1010XL or Dan Hicken special.
Zero Res.
Free for life? Just by saying that, you already know I'm referring to Awaken 180. They're the only company providing it. Fast, proven weight loss, and then keep it off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Here's good advice from your friends here at 1010XL. I'm Frank Frangie. The next time you need to send a gift for a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or just for the fun of it, call the experts at Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers does it right.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the lies have begun for the commissioner, Roger Goodell. I think everything he says, expect the opposite. And this, I'll be honest, personally, and I know none of you care, but I'll just say it anyway. This really pisses me off. I've been waiting all day to hear him speak. They've had plenty of Super Bowls out west before. I've been to them. Arizona, Vegas, Seattle, never been to Santa Clara. Why did they start it so late today? I'm sitting here waiting for this, and he just started right now as my show began. Here we go, number one. And this is what I mean about Roger Goodell and why you can't believe anything he says. One of his first questions was an 18-game season. His answer is, and I quote, let me find it again. It's not a given. We have not had any formal discussions. Okay? I don't believe that. Okay? Of course they've talked about an 18-game schedule. Now, just because Robert Kraft spends his free time in a massage parlor doesn't mean he doesn't tell the truth. And that's what he said a week and a half ago on a local radio station in Boston. We're going to an 18-game schedule. We're going to have 2 byes. So who do you believe? An owner who came out and said it, or the puppet for the owners who, again, is going to spend about an hour up there and basically say nothing at all, including they have not had any formal discussions. He does go on to say, what are the roster sizes? Are there 2 byes? What are the union's priorities? I can tell you exactly what the union's priorities are. They want more money. They're playing more football. Of course you have to expand the roster. And absolutely you have 2 byes. You have 20 weeks, 18 games, 2 off weeks. NFL fans love it. You extend the season by 2 games, 2 weeks, and you play the Super Bowl and get a holiday right after it on President's Day. I mean, I would think that 99.999999% of America would hear that and love it and not complain about it. But again, I'm wiser than that. Of course, there's going to be people out there that are going to complain about it. That's the way it is. Hey, complaining's fine. Complaining's fun. But in this case, to me, it's a losing argument. All right, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at the Miller Electric Company. For more than 96 years, they are consistently being rewarded and recognized as one of the top companies in Duval. No matter where you are in our great city, you see what? More and more building. It's going up everywhere. All sorts of people from different parts of the United States of America and other places, they want to move here to Duval. Okay? Miller Electric, they have their fingerprints all on it all. So if you feel undervalued as a electrician right now, somewhere else. If you've tried college, it's not for you. If you're getting out of high school and you can't afford college and you want to trade, how about being an electrician? They have all different types of starting points for you, including if you don't have any experience, they'll teach you. But for those who currently are going through a midlife crisis as far as your employment, or again, you feel like you're not being respected the way that you should as an electrician, just go to Miller Careers. And top pay, incredible benefits. They believe in rewarding those who work hard, and it's also a great company surrounded by outstanding individuals. And that much I can definitely tell you is the case, because I know many of them over there at the Miller Electric Center. Real good human beings. Check them out. Go to millercareers.com. All right. 2 new coaches were hired. Unofficially, I guess. Clint Kubiak, former Seattle offensive coordinator, now going to Vegas. And Michael LaFleur with the Rams, the offensive coordinator. By the way, L.A. today redid Les Snead. They redid Sean McVay. He's going to take over in Arizona. This is the key reason why I wanted to listen to the Roger Goodell State of the NFL address. I'll get it in its entirety tonight when I go home and rewatch it. But you've had 10 coaches hired, not one black coach. This is really taking the NFL by storm. It is problematic. There's no way that you can look through it. 70% of the league is African American. You have not hired one coach who is African American. The Rooney Rule is broken. It doesn't work. They tried to reward organizations with draft picks from promoting within when it came to African Americans or minorities in general. It's a very difficult subject to get into, but when it's not working, it's not working. And the Rooney Rule, you could have made the Giants interview 20 candidates. You knew and I knew from day one that John Harbaugh was going to be the coach of the New York Giants. The interview process became nothing more than a joke. And these interviews were nothing more than token interviews so you could check the box. You can really make the same case about Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta as well. Here's the issue. How do you fix it? How do you go to these billion-dollar owners and say, this can't be the case anymore? It's something that we've talked about for decades. There was a point where it started to get a little bit better. Now it has gotten absolutely the worst that you can imagine. 10 turnovers this year, 10 out of the 32. And not one was a black hire. This is a major issue that the NFL right now has to take a look at. And here's my guess, having no idea, none, what the commissioner of the NFL is going to say in Roger Goodell, because I believe he's on the cusp of talking about this right now. I mean, he obviously will be asked about it. There's a good, there's a good selection of reporters on the scene. I don't think he's going to say anything. I don't think he's going to give you anything at all. Why? Because he's a puppet for the owners. My guess is that he's heard the ins and the outs, the whys, the why nots, whatever it may be. And Roger Goodell is not going to go out and step somewhere that he should not. Even if he makes $64 million a year, he's going to take the high road on this. And I'm sure he's prepared for it. I'm hoping his publicist has said, hey, you're going to get asked this question. What type of answer are you going to give? Will it be creative? Will it be sincere? Will there be any sort of explanation? I don't know how you could create one. Will there be one? Or is it going to be a whole bunch of hot air coming from the commissioner of the NFL, which ends up resulting in nothing? We'll see. I'm here for it. We'll check it out. If it breaks while we're on the air, we'll share it with you. If not, I can tell you anyway, on Tuesday, coming up tomorrow, I'm going to have an awful lot on what Roger Goodell does say, and perhaps more importantly, what Roger Goodell does not say, because that's typically the way he is when it comes to his state of the NFL address. They did announce, too, conveniently, I don't know if you saw this, but the Epstein emails and the Epstein files implicated Steve Tisch, part of the ownership group of the New York Giants. And conveniently, right before his presser was the obligatory, oh, it's under investigation. We're going to thoroughly do that. We can't answer anything else at this time. That I'd like to say it's justified. I don't know if I will. I will say it's totally expected. You know, I mean, there's no question that it was expected. I just would have been kind of cool to hear him say it, not basically say to the reporters out there, well, you can ask me, but I'm going to tell you what the release already said. I'm not going to comment on it because the investigation is ongoing. But anyway, that's the first that I think I've seen out of, and it's not like I'm all over the Epstein files, right? I mean, whatever comes across my desk, I'll read it, I'll look at it. But there was something about Russell Wilson that came up today about buying a plane that I thought, and he defended himself. I'll give him credit for it. And then the deal here with Steve Tisch, but I don't know if I've seen any other athletes involved in this. I may be missing one or two obvious ones. I can't think of any off of the top of my head. So there you go. That is the very latest. You want to comment on that? You want to comment on Gus Malzahn? You want to comment on Florida State? You can. There's a lot to choose from. 2 ways to join us. Text line 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also tonight on YouTube, you can join us. Go to 1010XL into the night.
It's the power of the spoken word and your imagination.
Daniel Murphy waits on the 0-1, and there's a drive. Deep right field. That ball's gone.
1010XL, your radio home for play-by-play.
Daniel Murphy.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
It's Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you to stay ahead of prostate, bladder, and kidney health. Get a yearly checkup, ask about a screening, and make self-checks a habit. To make an appointment at one of 4 locations, visit ackermanurology.com.
Valentine's Day is sweet, but let's be honest, your septic tank wants attention too. Because when it gets ignored, it doesn't sulk, it causes problems, big ones. That's why Duck Duck Rooter, the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, is rolling out the Show Your Septic Some Love promotion. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping when you book by February 28th. Give your septic a little love now so it doesn't make a big scene later. When you start, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Lawback with Beaches Habitat for Humanity. Because of the players, we're bringing people together to build homes and strengthen our community. It's 36 days until the Players' Championship.
Finding the perfect romantic gift she'll treasure forever? It's easier than you think at Beard's Diamonds this Valentine's Day. We've curated a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. At Beard's, we've got it all under one roof. And right now, we're cranking up the romance with an unbeatable limited time offer. Save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens that signature Beards box on February 14th. Pure magic that lasts a lifetime. Guys, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. And that gift is on major sale right now. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family owned and community strong for over 45 years. Right here in the St. John's Town Center. Not some Wall Street chain. We're your neighbors, and we're here for you. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Fine Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Mardi Gras month at the Blue Crab Crab House. They are closed today. Even the great ones rest. And they do on Monday, but they'll be back at it tomorrow. $2 margaritas on Tuesday, $1 oysters on Wednesday. I know the GF and her friends went up there the other night and just had a blast. But the menu is second to none. There's no question about it. And I love the touch, a little spice that they do add during Mardi Gras all month long. And shrimp etouffee, crab meat and remick. You've got shrimp and sausage skewers, gumbo, blackened fish po' boys. Man, it just goes on and on and on. Absolutely outstanding. Located right off of San Jose. They're on Julington Creek Road. Open at 4:30 with you till 9. Every day except for today. Closed on Monday. Aaron Williams, how you doing? Is this your second or third week with us? It feels like it's been about a year and a half.
Does it actually? Third week.
Third week. You ready? Are you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man once said, if you stay ready, you never got to get ready.
I sent you the text last night, that hockey fight, and I was asked about it last week, about fighting in general. And this was after Bobrovsky skated the entire ice between the Florida Panthers and San Jose. It was the first time in 6 years that there had been a goaltender fight, where there was last night. And my point about fighting, even though this is not entirely correct, I said 99% of the fights happen in the NHL when the losing team tries to pick a fight to fire up the crowd, to fire up the team. A lot of times you'll be losing on the road, so it doesn't apply to the crowd. It's just the team. Mm-hmm. But last night, Boston's up 5-2. There's a scrum right in front of Swayman. A member of Tampa Bay goes extra with the stick work underneath where the puck was tied up. Swayman didn't like it, so he follows him, and all of a sudden a big scrum actually happens, and then you can see Swayman look, and he notices that Vasilevsky is pouring down the ice. So they meet right around the center part of the ice. It's not much of a fight, and that's okay. It's still, if you watch the game in front of 66,000, I know a couple of buddies who went to the game. I spoke with one of them a little bit earlier today. It just totally fired up everyone. But you know what happened right after the fact? Tampa Bay scored their third, their fourth, and their fifth goal to tie it up, and they won in a shootout in overtime.
And that fight was probably a direct cause of that.
There's no question. Now, Boston was really stupid. They had 7 second period penalties. And I know we don't talk about penalties in hockey all that much, but we've been talking about Mike Norvell. I think that, he is arguably one of the most penalized coaches year after year after year, not only in the ACC, but in college football. And this year, the Jaguars led the league for a significant amount of time with penalties. They ended up being ranked 3rd out of 32 teams. They did get a little bit better, penalty-wise towards the latter part of the season. But this works in this sport. And it's going down now as one of the great, outdoor hockey games that has ever been witnessed. Boston was actually up in that game 5-1. At the time of the fight, it was 5-2. But, man, they committed so many stupid penalties. I mean, penalties that you just cannot commit. Like Swayman himself taking the puck and knocking it into the netting, a delay a game. Another delay a game with a hand pass when you're down on all fours. Okay? I mean, you can't do things like that. A stupid slashing call, which prevented a David Pasternak goal. They actually took it off the clock. It was a very late call. I guess the referee didn't see it. It was called by one of the linesmen down around the Bruins crease. And, of course, the puck in the action was the other way. But there you have it. I just thought it was very ironic after we just got done having a conversation about why people do fight in the NHL. And sure enough, the exact reason I gave came to fruition, unfortunately, last night for Tampa Bay. I know there's a lot of Buck fans. Lightning fans out there. But, I'm a Bostonian. I love my Bruins. They let it get away. We got to take another break, right?
Yeah.
It's a Monday. I'm trying to figure everything out around here. So let's do that.
You're doing good. You've been on time each time.
Good. Well, I'm a work in progress. I appreciate that. Let's do it. Hitting posts on time. And, I'm starting to get a lot of feedback from people here on Norvell, on the, the 0505. Believe it's not a major issue. Hire the best candidate for your organization, no matter what color the candidate is. Maybe they hire 6 black coaches next year, no white coaches. But it's a massive problem. Why do you think they created the Rooney Rule? Why do you think they are rewarding organizations that promote from within? If you're a linebacker coach and you go to defensive coordinator, if you're a wide receiver coach and you go to offensive coordinator. The NFL, I'll actually credit the NFL, okay, as much as I'd love to criticize them, especially with what's happening with Roger Goodell. But I think they've tried to do the right things here. The 32 owners just aren't in agreement. The problem exists, though, and how are you going to be able to handle this moving forward? We'll see. You want to comment on that, like the 0505? You absolutely can. You can do that on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, and you can go to YouTube, 1010XL Into the Night.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios, polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window
World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
For nearly 60 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard has been Jacksonville's trusted name for the outdoors. From archery to hunting and fishing and more, their expert staff helps you get it right the first time. Right now, stop in and try the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews and get dialed in before spring. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Hey, Hicken here. Zero Res wants to give your home the love and attention it deserves. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Book online anytime at ZeroResJacksonville.com and mention the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Anytime you've got major plumbing problems, and even the minor ones, there's several potential causes, and they usually can't be easily detected. So don't guess at a solution. Hire Roland Reese Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Covering the First Coast and ready to help when you need it. That's Rebound Rehabilitation. With a dozen locations, they're easy to get to and they'll get you back in the game. Sports injury, workers' comp case, or auto accidents, you name it, they can help. Check out reboundrehab.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, unfortunately, at least for me, the commissioner of the NFL went on with his address the exact same time that I did. So I know we'll talk more in depth about this tomorrow once I have an opportunity to go back and rewatch it. But I am reading some comments along the way. And right here is one of the major reasons why Roger Goodell boils my blood, and should yours as well. Are you ready? He was just asked about officiating. Here's his quote. Quote, "I'm amazed at how good our officials are." End of quote. He does this yearly. I don't know what it is. It almost feels mob related. Why do they protect the officials the way that they do? Okay, they're protected way more than anyone else. They're protected more than the owners. They're protected more than anyone in the front office. They're protected more than anyone who is a coach, anyone who is a player, anyone who is a former player. The officiating. And again, this is a flat lie. All you got to do is ask. Poll the media. Poll fans. How happy are you with the officiating? Why is the commissioner of the NFL, when you know this is an ongoing massive problem, okay? I mean, the NFL has, we talked about the Rooney Rule a moment ago. That's an off-the-field issue that they've tried to fix. I'll at least credit the NFL for putting in the time and the effort for this to take place. It comes down to billionaire owners. They're not going to be told who they have to hire. This is a much separate situation that takes place in a game every single Sunday. And again, common sense is never applied. The officiating is anything but amazing. And I just can't believe that Roger Goodell is allowed to pop off with these type of questions and that no one will call him out for it. They'll write about it. They'll talk about it like myself, but it will come with very little criticism. And I don't know if he's been asked about it yet, but he will. He's also going to give you, his gaslighting on CTE and concussions. Wait till you see the way that he will spin this. Do you remember a couple of years ago when they went from 16 to 17 games? He actually sat there and told you and told myself and told everyone else that the statistics, that the numbers had actually dropped going from 16 to 17 games as far as concussions. And then when they rose the year after, he said it's because doctors have advanced equipment that they now can tell the most minor type of concussion that is, and I'm paraphrasing here, is nothing more than like a headache. It's some serious spin ongoing right now. We'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. You're going to get a game in Paris. Okay? I mean, thank God. Can you imagine having an NFL season and not playing a game in Paris, France? That's your NFL. All right? So where are we right now? Obviously, London. I mean, I'm not talking to anyone out there who doesn't love the fact that the Jags play every freaking year in London. They're in Melbourne, right? Got to go under. That's a safe trip. There's no problem there. They're on these chartered flights. It's just a great time. Oh, yeah, they play in Brazil now, for those of you who are wondering. They play in Germany, right there in Munich. Spain. 3 games in London. So there you go. The 2026 season. Paris, Australia, Brazil, Germany, Spain, 3 in London. I don't see anything here about Mexico. I figured for sure they'd have one. Maybe they can add that at some point. And that's the other part of going to 18 games. They're going to make every team play at least one a year, internationally speaking. Just insane. It really is. 1822 Blue. Lifelong Seminole fan, in my opinion, would cook for this until 2027. Get Norvell out of there. Yeah, I mean, it's right there in front of everyone. You just have to sit back and wait. I've never seen anything like this with such a lame duck. It's almost like you're waiting, for a president after year 4. And right now, you're done with year 3. And you got to wait one more year. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do about it. You're just going to have to wait until the votes come in. It's the same deal here. He's got 0% chance of surviving. He's not going to survive. And I hate it. I hate it for the fans. I do. I mean, they're everything that they do at Florida State right now backfires. Just terrible. You can see what good leadership does. You saw it here. You saw bad leadership here. You saw how awful things were, including 16 days of Trent Baalke a year ago. Again, really bad leadership. And finally, something happened, and Shad Khan woke up and made the move. Well, you saw what did occur with great leadership, okay, in just one season. Lifelong Jags fan, pass rush is a definite need. Slight boost to our defensive back group and one more piece at wide receiver offense. So I don't see many teams looking forward to playing us next year. Yeah, they're going to get a first-place schedule. I don't know if they'll go 13-4, but I think they're going to be a better team. In my opinion, you missed the most important position. That's a defensive tackle. I've done a lot of reading on what took place last week at the Senior Bowl. Caleb Banks had a really good week. The former Gator. Is he a guy that could be there at number 56? I mean, you read these mocks, and they still have Jacksonville drafting a safety or a corner. I totally disagree with that. My say would be on Friday with those two picks, because, of course, they don't have one on Thursday. And the draft is only like 80 days away. I'm going defensive line, interior, and I'm going offensive line. That's where I'm going in the first round. In the second and third round. That is where I would go. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. Let's do that. Let's get you involved with it because there's so much to choose from tonight. There's really a lot of great things that are happening in the world of sports. And as always, we're incredibly interactive with our listeners. We appreciate you each and every night. That's why we go to you. I want to get, unless something really big pops up, and it could from Roger Goodell's address. I'd be surprised if it does, but we'll see. I'd like to make it about you and your questions. 2 ways to join us. You can watch the show and throw us a comment on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, 1010XL into the night. And as always on our text line, 641-1010, and that is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, bring the best sports and entertainment talk to Jacksonville. Good luck, 1010XL. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group, 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler. Bold flavor done right.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 2nd, 2014, the Seattle Seahawks defeated the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 48. Malcolm Smith was the Super Bowl MVP.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an ICAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than with Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. This week, Prize Picks has a special max discount for the big game. Drake May needs just 1 passing yard for the max discount to win. Just add another player to your lineup, and if your picks hit, you cash in. It's just that simple. And now Prize Picks has early payouts. It's If your lineup is off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out before the game even finishes. At PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. You can choose Flex Play and get paid even if one of your picks misses, or Power Play for the biggest payouts. And all PrizePicks withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use promo code 1010XL and get $50 in lineups instantly when you play $5 in lineups. That's promo code 1010XL to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5 in lineups. PrizePicks. It's good to be right.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 11th, and culminates with a Daytona 500 on February 15th. This week, you can win a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name answer to 641-1010 for a chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500, February 15th.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Super Bowl week. It is Super Bowl 60. The Seattle Seahawks remain a 4.5-point favorite. You could probably find it at 5 somewhere as well. Of course, you'd like it at 5 if you're a Pats fan, if you're going the other way and you're taking Seattle, and most are, both public money and wise guys money. We'll see what ends up happening there the other way. You may have to buy a point or buy a half point. Both teams have arrived in a media day tomorrow. Roger Goodell speaking right now. I guess he's wrapped things up. Mexico City will be represented next year. I just took it through, I think, 6 different countries, and I wondered about Mexico City. I went back and looked. They've been added to the list as well. So that is certainly good news. Again, there's not much better than I can think about than going to a football game in Mexico. That to me just sounds absolutely outstanding. Okay, this is let me find it. This is what is just so beautiful about everything that Roger Goodell says. This is from Diana Rossini. So there's a chance that this could be wrong. But I'm going to give her credit for it anyway. And again, when I go home tonight, I'm going to watch it. Goodell just said a moment ago, when talking about international games and how this is going to expand. And again, the rumor is, as you know, 18 games, 2 byes. Every team must play 1 international game. Of course, you're lucky enough to be a Jaguars fan where your home game, one of them every single year, is played over there in London. Roger Goodell just said he spoke to many players and discovered how much they enjoy playing international games because they feel like ambassadors. All right, here's where I am with this. I want one name. Only one. Give me one name of a player or a former player who actually likes playing in an international football game. Remember, I did this thing, 7 times, where I would travel with the team to London. Now, I have an agenda. I hated it. Okay? There's nothing I like about London. Okay? It's cold, it's wet, it's damp. It's just, it's not for me. Okay? So, but at least I can be honest about the fact that I do have an agenda. All right? I'm not going to out anyone or anything because there's no need to do it. But I can't think of anyone that I have ever talked to who said, oh, man, we have London in 2 weeks. I can't wait to get back over there and get to London. So, again, it's Roger Goodell. And he's just headed up this dog and pony show. He's taken the most serious moment of the year for the NFL to tackle ongoing problems, and he just looks at people and doesn't tell them the truth. It's unbelievable. And it's one after another after another. Oh, boy. 22-12. What is that? What is that? Jags offense? I don't want to get into Jags offensive line right now. 74-99. Blue, why do you think it's a problem? Just curious, talking about the Rooney Rule. Well, here's something I have heard the players say. Okay. Again, I've never heard a player or a former player say, I want to go play a game in London. I have heard plenty of former players say, this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy is as qualified as that guy. Why doesn't he get an opportunity? If you do not think that that is an ongoing conversation between that small fraternity in the NFL, you're dead wrong. And I get the other side of it too. You're a multi-billionaire. You run your company. You hire the best people for your company. Most of these owners just don't own one company. You just talked about Paul Allen. Paul Allen was my boss for 7 years. He owned the Sporting News. He owned Sporting News Radio. He probably owned 100, 150 companies. Okay, including the Seattle Seahawks, including the Portland Trailblazers. I'm sure he hired the right people and told them to hire the right people. I get it. Question you got to ask yourself, are they overpassing those who are qualified? The Brian Flores story is a major mess. I saw a report today where he's going to make $6 million as a defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. That's big-time cash. It's not a subject that a lot of people want to tackle. And again, I don't have the answers for you, but all you got to do is look at Twitter, look at players, look at former players, look at the things that are being said. You had a turnover of 10, and it wasn't addressed. Doesn't look good. 0505. Boy, I went to bed. The Bruins up 5-1. Should have stayed up. Yeah, you should have. Again, stupid penalties. We don't talk about stupid penalties a lot in the sport of hockey. We talk about them all the time in football to some extent. We'll talk about a stupid foul in the NBA, right? But Boston is the most penalized team in the NHL, and they had 7 penalties in the second period. That's hard to do. 60-65. You slightly speed up Roberta's voice. She sounds exactly like Mike Norvell. It's uncanny. Are you talking about Roberta Flack? I don't know of any other Roberta. Oh, no, you're talking about Roberta, the Jaguars fan who steals the show. Okay. I didn't know she had, I didn't know she was referred to as Roberta. Appreciate that. 46-44 Blue. Norvell sounds like the collegiate version of Doug Peterson. I got to give Norvell more credit. It seems like he cares more. He's just not a good coach. Doug Peterson is a good coach. Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning coach who remained ridiculously loyal to his staff. I've said this many times over, and I'm glad it didn't happen now because obviously the new wave with Cohen and company is much better. But I think if Doug Peterson legitimately called plays last year and not Press Taylor, instead of going 2-10 in those one possession games, I think they would have gone 6-6, 7-5, something like that. So you're talking about basically around a 500 football team. I do. I think Doug Peterson's a good coach. I think things went sideways all over the place. And That's the major reason. 7428, dude, you need some of those Bueller sunglasses. Is that from our local company here, Bueller? Or are we talking about old school Ferris Bueller? Do you know? Am I this went over my head?
I'm not sure about that. I was reading that one too.
All right, 7428. Help us out now. We're interactive. Help us out. 0981 said, producer, you, meaning you, Aaron Williams, just said, got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Oh no, that's what I said. He was
All right. I'm ready. You're ready. We're ready. We're ready. That's a Boston song.
You haven't heard that before? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready. Told you that.
Always got to be ready.
People, how long do you prepare for the show? I don't stop preparing for the show. I loved it today. I saw somewhere on Twitter that the coaches who, I put 7 hours, I put 7 days a week, 14 hours a week into the gig. And I've had this conversation with members of the media for years, and I've always felt the same way. Totally respect the effort, but if you're putting 14 hours a day in 7 days a week and you still don't get it, you're not a good coach. And you're probably going to end up getting fired. Now, I don't need you cutting corners and doing things along those lines, but, I admire first to show up, last to leave. That was one of the reasons why I was down when it came to off the field with the release of Evan Ingram. He was always the first to show up in camp and oftentimes the last to leave. I think that work ethic comes into play. But, it was Spurrier, and it backfired on Spurrier because he called out like Jim Haslett. He's like, if you think I'm going to have a cot in my office, and it's not going to happen. And again, he came across as being arrogant, and it didn't work for him because Steve's career in the NFL was much like any other college coach during that era. They all failed, right? Nick Saban. They all failed outside of the guys who went to Dallas, Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer. But, Dennis Erickson, you just go on and on and on and look at them.
What
didn't work out.
What do you think Norvell's, like, if you had to pick the main issue with Norvell, what is that with him and why it's just gone so south over the past
Well, it's not just one, but I would say he did well when a lot of talent wasn't involved. Lesser talent was involved. He had 5 4-stars at Memphis. He also only had 5 guys in his roster from the state of Florida at Memphis. I always backed Norvell when he got here because he had COVID to deal with. And, at that point, Manny Diaz was in Miami. He was born in Miami. He went to Florida State. He had been in the SEC at Mississippi State, some other places. Dan Mullen was at Florida. He had been in this guy. Norvell, and again, I backed him. I even made an excuse for him. But we have found out that he is a really bad recruiter. And he's not a good in-game coach. He makes mistake after mistake after mistake. Look at his 4th downs. Look at some of the calls. I started the program by saying it. I mean, just go to that drive. Go back and rewatch the first drive 2 years ago in Dublin against Georgia Tech. You try to settle in with your offensive line. You try to settle in with your running backs. And I want to say he used 5 different running backs in that opening drive. And I also want to say that in the first quarter, he used 8 different offensive linemen. It doesn't work that way. You pick a 5 and you start with 5. And you hang on to a back who, first off, you have to separate it. Florida State fans, you're going to go into camp again this year. Year 7 of Mike Norvell. You don't know who your quarterback is. You're going to have a quarterback competition in August in year 7. I mean, if that doesn't define a bad coach, I don't know what does. And you're going to have a running back competition. I mean, nothing is set. So I think he's a really bad recruiter. And he was able to get through that because of, he got off to a fantastic start with the transfer portal. And, I'll even say that a lot of those players developed. They got better and developed under Mike Norvell. Now, Norvell gets all this credit for Jordan Travis, and he's deserving of it, but I remember being in Charlotte with him and Mackenzie freaking Milton. He brought 2 quarterbacks with him for the first time ever to the Atlantic Coast Conference football meetings. He didn't know who his quarterback was going to be. Remember when he stayed with Milton against Notre Dame? When the whole world's like, why is Travis not playing? I mean, so, and I can go on and on and on. There's many, many, many different things. I just don't think he's a good coach. 4806. The glasses are referencing the most enjoyable commercial on 1010. I love it. I love it. I love it. 7862. In the commercial, they put on sunglasses and everything looks like, okay, yeah, okay. I thought it was the 1010 commercial. And now that is proven, in fact, correct. Okay. Folks are getting after it as well on YouTube. It's come back. Take a look at them here on the other side. You can always voice your opinion. Just go to 1010XL into the night. All right. You can watch the program as well. And you can comment more on our text line. That phone number for you is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
The longer you listen,
I thought the play was exceptional.
The more you learn about your home team. We stay close to the Jags, so you can too. 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast orthopedic specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly, and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL and Instant Keys celebrate Black History Month by highlighting African Americans who positively impact the First Coast. I'm E.T. Listen for Black History profiles all month. Brought to you by Instant Keys. Fast, reliable, honest locksmith service.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
It's free window February with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, when you buy 4 replacement windows, you get the 5th for free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Finding the right plumber to reline your cast iron pipes doesn't have to be a stressful experience. When you hire Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, you can rest assured you're getting the best in the industry. At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we're so confident in our work that we encourage you to get multiple estimates. Look at each company's reviews and check the scope of their pipelining work to make sure it's what you're expecting. But at the end of the day, make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you tonight till 8 o'clock. Good to have you with us alongside Aaron Williams. My name is Rick Ballou. The conversation that Roger Goodell had with the media is over. I'm going to watch it tonight, go back and read it, and I want to get into some of the key issues somewhat tomorrow. Also, it's a big week. Derek Trucks is going to join us this week. He was fishing again in Panama with Susan Tedeschi, but caught up with him very early. I think it was yesterday morning. I can't remember, but tickets are on sale for their shows coming up Friday and Saturday in October over at the St. Aug Amp, which is just a wonderful place, man. I love the St. Augustine Amp. Place is such a great, and you know, I'll say this about, I think we're blessed. I love the Florida Theater. Daly's Place, unless it's just obscenely hot, Daly's Place is fine, like that. The Veterans Memorial Stadium is certainly a great place to see a show. I haven't been to the renovated Ponte Vedra Concert Hall in a little bit, but I guess that's back and that's open. But this one here with Tedeschi Trucks, and they're going to be heading out in March. They're going to play 2 weeks worth in New York. I think at the Beacon Theater is where they're going to do that. So they used to do it. You know, Derek played for 17 years with the Allman Brothers, and they always sold it out. That was insane. Okay. You know, I don't want to do too much here on Goodell until I really get a chance to sit down and look at everything. But I will tell you that he has commented on the Rooney Rule and what I began the program on. He went on to talk about more lack of diversity with the NFL's head coaching hires. He went on to talk about Bad Bunny and his anti-ICE statement at the Grammys last night and what he expects with his platform during halftime this Sunday. Apparently there's going to be a rival one headed up by Kid Rock or something like that. It's going to be on USA Network or, I mean, I don't know. Usually I go outside and smoke a cigar or do whatever. I just never really been big on any of that halftime entertainment with anything. I mean, I did witness last night Tim McGraw playing a little bit, and I'm not a country guy, that's for sure. But I've interviewed Tim on this radio station a few times. Tim's a pretty good guy, of course, the son of the late Tug McGraw. And I just don't I don't understand the backlash and all the stuff that goes on with that. I mean, there's a lot I get, but there's a lot I do not get. The most important thing you need to know today, though, by Roger Goodell, is that he said, and I quote, "I'm amazed at how good our officials are." So he had that to say. He also went on to talk about AI when it comes to officiating and how AI is going to take a big step forward. It's going to help them technically speaking, make calls. So
people are not going to like the sound of that.
Losing more jobs. More jobs, more jobs, more jobs. He also, okay, here's something that came forward as well. Apparently, there's more and more owners who are in the Epstein files, not just Steve Tisch, Giants owner, but others as well. And, of course, Roger Goodell went on, gave you a long-winded answer of we're collecting all the facts, and we'll let you know at that particular time. So, Mr. Know-It-All says, Baloo, Milton's story is exactly where I agree with the NIL era. I'll give you that. That was a good story at the time with Mackenzie Milton. I mean, his career was basically over. At least you thought it was over. And he was able to bring him back over. He just couldn't throw the football anymore. The number is staggering on young student athletes who left money on the table and a scholarship on the table, entered the transfer portal, and did not find a new home. That's part of the buried stories that are happening here. It's bad advice. We've all gotten bad advice before, right? Imagine that. Imagine having an okay deal. It's not what you want. You think you're worth more. I get it. Make yourself available for everyone else. And then all of a sudden there's not a home and you're stuck now in between. You lost your former scholarship with your former team in school. And now you're out there. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity maybe for you to walk on somewhere. But that's happened, and you don't hear that getting talked about an awful lot. CRS 092, Miami isn't the standard of college football. They can't even win a conference. It's really bizarre that Miami never has. And again, they're talking about changing the tie-breaking rules in the ACC. We'll see. I mean, don't ask Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC. He'll have no clue. He probably isn't even aware of the fact that took place. But I think he'll talk out here in Amelia Island in March, and then oh gosh, man, his dreaded conference in July is actually, it's like how would I describe it? It's almost, I don't want to say prison-like. That would be an extreme, but it certainly there is some punishment involved when you have to listen to anything he's going to say. Because and it's so common for these commissioners. They just don't have any idea what's going on. I mean, like, if you could be a commissioner of anything, that is like the greatest job in the world. You get paid a ton of money. You don't say anything. And when you do say something, for the most part, people don't believe you. They just make fun of you. Well, if they're going to make fun of you, that's fine. People make fun of me. Imagine making fun of a commissioner and just thinking of all the money that you are making. I think it's a pretty cool life. Baloo, most teams of college football are guilty of being identity thieves. Miami invented the smoke field entrance past 40 years. Hall of Fame college football teams adopt the smoke field. Yeah, there's no doubt. Look at the war chant. They don't even call it by its name. They call it by the freaking tomahawk chop or whatever. It's the war chant. All right. And, the Braves stole it and the Chiefs stole it and everyone else. I mean, that was so cool when I was a student in the late 80s into the 90s. I mean, that was awesome. It's like now it's like, everyone took it. You know what I mean? Everyone took it from you. And now it's been overused and it's just not the same as it once was. There's been a few times over the last couple of years where it's been rocking with it. But again, those have been few and far between. No question about it. 6 teams have won 3 national titles in 40 years. Georgia ended a 40-year route in 2021. LSU, FSU, Florida, Clemson, and Ohio State SQ, 5 titles in 40 years of dominance. Success chasing the U. Yeah, well, you got 5. Yeah, and you should have 6, I think. I think you should have beat Ohio State in the Maurice Clarett year. It was a very, very late penalty. And I thought you were the better team than Penn State in that very low-scoring game that year when Vinny threw a bunch of picks. But, hey,
we can do that with every school, right? I can certainly do it when it comes to my alma mater, Florida State. Check your recruiting. Mario Cristobal record in the past 3 seasons: 12-0 all media darlings named Texas A&M, Ohio State, UF, Florida State, Ole Miss, Clemson, Notre Dame, schedule Miami, and find out. We'll see. Miami's going to be a top 5 preseason team. I've already seen some early preseason polls. It feels like Notre Dame may get number 1, with Ohio State, but no doubt Miami. And Miami's losing a lot. I mean, they're losing 2 top 10 picks. They may end up being top 5 picks. And we'll see how everything shuffles out and settles. But it's going to be really interesting when it's all said and done. If you're joining us for the first time, the big news today involves 2 Gus's. Gus Malzahn quits Florida State. Just get up and quits on the 2nd day of February, really hurting the program, considering they brought in a quarterback who was tailor-made for him. And there's no question that he saw it differently than Mike Norvell. And the divorce is now official, and it's just getting uglier in Tallahassee. They also promote Tim Harris from within as a new offensive coordinator. Mike Norvell will call plays. Okay. Last time Mike Norvell called plays, Florida State was 2-10. Gus Bradley back in the AFC South. Old friend Robert Saleh hires him. Remember, in Jacksonville, it was Gus who was the head coach, Todd Wash, who was the defensive coordinator, and Robert Saleh was the linebacker coach. So that has happened today as well. All of a sudden, I still think Gus is a good coach, a good defensive coordinator. I don't know, and, we'll know more about it this year, where he is with that scheme, the Leo and the Otto and that stuff that drove people around here crazy. But I will say this about Gus Bradley. He's one of the greatest human beings you'll ever meet. And his son is actually on the Jaguars roster. Didn't know if you knew that. He is the practice squad quarterback. He nearly beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Where did he go? He went to like Akron or something like that. Carter Bradley, if memory serves me correct. They nearly won that game at Notre Dame, going back 3-4 years ago. But Gus he is truly one of the great men in general. And with him and Brian Daboll now, wow. I think Brian Daboll's a real good offensive coordinator.
Says Toledo and South Alabama.
Toledo, that was it. What did I say, Akron? Yeah, he went in there with Toledo and almost beat Notre Dame, obviously on the road. There's no way Notre Dame would go to Toledo. But one other note that came over the weekend, Tyler Tettleton, who is on the Jaguars staff, he was actually one of only a couple of coaches that was retained by Liam Cohen from the Doug Peterson staff. He is interviewed for the wide receiver position as a coach in Baltimore. So that popped up over the weekend. I haven't seen anything more to that, but there has been a lot of coaching announcements today, coordinators, position coaches. So I would not be surprised if something pops up, good or bad. And, Tettleton's a guy they really like. Obviously, they kept him on the staff. And, the word is that he is a future offensive coordinator at some point. The way things sit right now, you lost 2 coaches, one on offense, one on defense, the assistant offensive line coach. You lost your DB coach and Ron Milas. And, of course, you made 2 big moves last week, going to Miami to get your defensive coach, and the move that Liam Cohen made by going back over to Tampa and getting the assistant offensive line coach. All right, much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock. If you want to comment, you can. 641-1010, best way to get in on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also join us on YouTube. Just go to 1010XL into the night.
What's the deal with the show? The 1010XL Podcast Network is now available just about everywhere you find podcasts.
I think the show's going to be a huge hit.
Search for your favorite 1010XL podcast in your platform of choice.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestaProsNEFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Hey gang, Hickett here. Guys, listen up. Valentine's is coming. You want to be a hero this year with something really romantic? It's easier than you think at Beards Diamonds. Beards has put together a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. They got it all at Beards. And here's the best part. Right now, save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. You know, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family-owned and community-strong for more than 45 years right here in the St. John's Town Center, not some Wall Street chain. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. Get up to 40% off diamond earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
I had a busy Monday. We are 6 days away from the Super Bowl. Seattle and New England, a rematch from 11 years ago. It's all about Seattle. They're a 4.5 to 5 point favorite. Your total 45.5. Santa Clara is where they're at, and I imagine it's pretty spread out. I know that was always a complaint about Super Bowls down in Miami, is that basically the stadium is in the southern part of Fort Lauderdale, and they do a lot of stuff on South Beach, but I'm trying to remember, felt like the Radio Row and everything was always at a different convention center somewhere. I was listening today that I want to say that they were in San Jose at the convention center for Radio Row today. So I guess it's spread all over. And, it's a beautiful drive. Actually, really love San Francisco, San Jose, and take the drive all the way out to Monterey, all the way out to Pebble Beach, where, how about Justin Rose, 23 under yesterday. So the first two on the card events of the PGA Tour this year, Scotty Scheffler, 27 under. That was last week in L.A. And then over in San Diego yesterday, Justin Rose, 23 under. Incredible just how low these guys are going. We're going to get into some golf a little bit later on this week. Roger Goodell met with the media today. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. I'm going to go home tonight and watch it and then and read everything. I've given you a couple of snippets, including AI getting ready to come in and aid and perhaps replace officials. We'll see. The Epstein files now rearing its ugly head with owners. And, let me say this just for 1 second. I just pulled up Twitter. And I don't know how some of this stuff gets on Twitter. I use Twitter strictly as a sports source. I guess I'm on Instagram. I really don't go on there. I'm old school. I'm on Facebook. Okay. I'll drop pictures of, my daughters or, a beautiful golf course or, something, an animal I see out on the, but for me, Twitter is sports. Here are the first 5 issues that I have or tweets that I have. Number 1, someone, I don't even know who he is. He was actually in Summer of Sam. Is it John Leguizamo? I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is boycotting Fox in a movie deal because of the ICE incident a night ago. There's a picture here of someone flying into Seattle complaining about an all-gender restaurant. Next up, we have the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell talking about owner Steve Tisch and other NFL owners in their role with women in the Epstein files. Next up, we have men hate Sabrina Carpenter and love Sydney Sweeney. Women hate Sydney Sweeney and love Sabrina Carpenter. And it's just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I don't know. I know a little bit about it, but not a lot. Okay. I guess that's all I need right now at this point. Why can't we all just get along? It's unbelievable, man. It really is. And my point that I wanted to make, which led me to that, is when did it become so glaringly obvious that people enjoy when other people are suffering, when other people are hurting? These NFL owners, okay, why do I believe that the common individual out there can't wait for these names to get released and can't wait for them to be hurt? They won't be financially speaking, but they will as far as their reputation. I mean, look at the Bob Kraft massage story. I've just never been able to understand that part of things as to, and I think a lot of it is that many are upset with themselves and that, they're not doing what they wanted to do. Therefore, misery loves company, right? I mean, again, I can go back to the Jason Lock-and-Forrest story when he got fired. All these people, he got fired. It's like, I don't want to see him get fired. I don't want to see anyone get fired. I don't want to see anyone lose their job. Okay? It's tough out there. But it is. And I know it's not everyone. There's a lot of really good people, good, honest people out there. But man, the negativity overrides it. And I go the negative way quite a bit. Look how I started today. I started on Mike Norvell. I think he's awful. Okay? He may be the exception to the rule where I want to see him get fired, but he's also made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. So he said. Then I went to Roger Goodell about how he's not going to tell the truth. So I'm in it as much as anyone else, but I also like to bring forward a positive story, like perhaps the fight at mid-ice last night in the hockey game between Tampa and Boston. That was something we can all come together as one and just say that was a spectacular moment with two goaltenders. I just at times have trouble coming to grasp with why humans want to see other humans fail. A sporting event's one thing. Sure, you want the other team to lose. You're in a fight. You pick a fighter to win, tennis match, whatever it may be, a golfer. But I'm talking about far more serious issues in our country that I just can't ever remember it being this way. I think a lot of it is social media. I'm sure this stuff went on forever and ever and ever. We just weren't able to witness it the way that we are nowadays. And I think it's sad in a lot of ways. I almost never get sad. I get happy and I get mad. And really the only time I get mad is when my sports teams lose. I never get mad about anything else. That's not true, but for the most part. But damn, man, you just look at the top stories, no matter where you go, it's frightening out there. So, to you, I wish you the best. Enjoy your Monday night. Enjoy your Tuesday as well. We'll be back at 6 on Tuesday. As a matter of fact, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes and get you ready for Hacker Nation.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet and football season is stepping into high gear with playoffs galore. And this is the season for winning. Don't miss out. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and see all the lines, the best plays, parlays, and props. And definitely check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Get in on the action now at Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
Hi, Jacksonville. This is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine by the Dr. James Andrews. Wintertime is upon us, and you may notice you wake up in the morning with some aches and pains in the shoulders and knees. If this happens to you, don't forget, stay mobile to try to reduce stiffness in your joints. And if that doesn't work, come see me at Bari Orthopedics, where we can treat you with cortisone injections and platelet-rich plasma injections and other non-invasive needs. Visit me at BariOrthopedics.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Check out i9sports.com with spring and summer registration open right now. In the gym or on the field, and now at Tocoi Creek High School and Westside Middle. Check it out, i9sports.com.
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-682-6769. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Low mortgage rates are back. Listen, Loan Pronto has fixed rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%. It's the lowest in years. Hey, gang, Prosser here. Smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you can lower your payment big time. Or you can keep your primary mortgage intact, get cash out, equity with Loan Pronto's rapid equity loans. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards, some car loans, and cut their monthly expense by $2,000. Call now. See what option works best for you, but don't miss this big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous rapid equity loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 904-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com. No hard credit pull. 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers.
Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, we got a barn burner going on right now. UNC and Syracuse, 2:40 to go first half. Nothing quite beats basketball in early February.
Well, I would agree with that, at least yesterday with the Florida Gators in Alabama. What a performance by the Gator front court in that win.
74 points in the paint?
72, yeah, 72 points in the paint. They made 3 threes and scored 100 points.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember a stat line like that. That's insane. That you only make 3 3-pointers and you still end up with triple digits on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they played some, is that 12 out of 14?
It's 10 out of 12. They were 5-4, and then they got to 9-5, and now they're 16-6, 7-2 in the conference. And that was personal yesterday with Bediako, the G League player that came back to Alabama. But that's a whole weird topic that college basketball is going to have to deal with. But it's clear the Gators had a little chip on their shoulder, and Todd Golden kind of pulling a Spurrier a little bit, giving some bulletin board material, but then backing it up. I like the fact that he talks to the media when he's got something to say, and they backed it up yesterday.
Yeah, one of my golfing buddies, Derek Redding with the GFL, is one of the few out there that I know that I believe is actually a bigger Florida basketball fan than football.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Blaylock was that way.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
There's not a lot of them out there.
No.
But certainly you're trying to defend the title, and yeah, we'll get into that in the days and the weeks that do follow. All right, Super Bowl week. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Seattle's the clear favorite going in, but I'll say this about New England. I've been one of those guys that says, well, New England hasn't played anybody. At a certain point, when you play 20 games and you win 17 of them, that argument kind of goes out the window. Obviously, they deserve to be here. Drake May's been fantastic, and Mike Vrabel, thank goodness the Titans are idiots in letting that guy go because he is a terrific coach, and New England's reaping the benefits of that. So we'll see, but I do think it'd be an incredible story for Sam Darnold to win one on Sunday as a comeback for the ages from a quarterback that was left out the pasture.
Yeah, 5th team, and he's the Super Bowl odds MVP. As far as risk reward, it would be the least, but that's where most of the people are betting at this particular time. So we will see. All right, what do you got going on tonight?
Yeah, I mentioned Gator basketball. Patrick Young is going to join me tonight. Looking forward to that. That's going to come up here in about 25 minutes or so. Also, the coach, Mark Duffner, will stop by to talk a little Super Bowl. And then we'll go to Tallahassee. Kurt Weiler of Tomahawk Nation talking about the departure of Gus Malzahn. I know you've been talking about it a lot tonight. Very curious timing on that one.
Hop off the bus, Gus, an old Paul Simon song where he says, hop on the bus, Gus, but we're saying hop off. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by Paul Simon. Solo, not with Simon and Garfunkel. Solo work.
You're a music encyclopedia.
No, have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, that's going to do it. I appreciate all of your participation. on this Monday, a tad bit frigid. Tomorrow, I'm going to settle in and watch this tonight. I'll have more on the Goodell thing tomorrow. I don't want to bore you completely with it, but there are some key issues that need to be looked upon. So we have that. I still have this real good topic that I think is going to work. I just haven't had a chance to get it. I've been hanging on to it for a couple of weeks. I can't wait to spit it out. Maybe that'll be tomorrow night as well. All right, that'll do it. Thank you to Aaron Williams. I am Rick Ballou. We're back at 6 o'clock on Tuesday right here on your home of the Jaguars.